Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. So we've been able to reconnect with Bonga Abdala to speak to us on, the happenings and how Amnesty International have actually put death tolls in Mozambique, at a very high rate. And we have local monitors like Plataforma Decide put a death toll, over Amnesty International and also the government, which is at 350 since October. It exceeds, both figures. Now, if you can hear me, Bonga, how reliable are these grassroots tallies under persistent restrictions?
Yeah, well, actually, since the demonstrations that started last year and have its continuation still this year, we have over 308 people that have been killed during the demonstrations. So what worries us so much is because no legal proceedings have been opened against the possible perpetrators of all these crimes. But one thing that is crucial to understand is that during the last month, Venancio Mondlane has been called by the Attorney General official to give a statement about his calling for the demonstrations, and is now at this moment he has been I could say condemned to he's subject now to that he can't even live out of Mozambique over 5 days because the attorney now is under the control of all his steps. So what we are witnessing in Mozambique is that we are living in a context of intolerance, that our political and democracy in Mozambique has now facing a difficult problems. Even the political institutions that were under the control of all these political elections are now being entrusted institutions. All the institutions that now Mozambique have are no longer be trusted by the citizens, most of them. So this is the situation that we are living, and no legal proceedings have been opened. That's something that worries us so much, because all the institutions, we could say, politically, that have been captured by the ruling party.
Okay, now, Bonga, if you can hear me, neighboring countries like South Africa have also temporarily closed their borders due to the unrest, and also the Southern African Development Community, that's the SADC, plans to send a delegation to address the crisis. Now, looking at the role that some of these regional bodies play in mediating such conflicts, what leverage does SADC realistically possess, and how do you think that it would approach, or its approach will differ from that of the UN or even the EU?
Come again, please. I couldn't hear you well.
I was talking about the Southern African Development Community, SADC, right? And their plans to send a delegation to address the crisis. I'm asking if you feel the role of regional bodies, what role you feel regional bodies play in mediating such conflicts, and also what leverage you think the SADC possesses, and how its approach will be different from the UN and the EU.
Yeah, well, let me just say something. The SADC is a political organ. It's a political movement that we also know that it has started during the movement of liberational countries. So if we look at all these contexts that we have, most of the states that most of the countries that are ruled, that belong ACDC, they are ruled by the formal liberation movements. So Mozambique, we have one that is Frelimo party that is also the member of the ACDC. So if we look at all this situation, we haven't seen even a single interference into this situation by the ACDC. It's difficult now that we can see the steps of the ACDC in the region, so that they can come up with a solution to this problem. Even if we have seen during the demonstrations that the borders between Mozambique and South Africa have been closed, and the economy was so much has shaken a little bit because of this blocking, and the preoccupation of the ACDC, especially of South Africa, was only about how to unclose the borders in order to see their economy working. But as the organization, as the institution, the ACDC now is not interfering into this political situation in Mozambique. But it's a solution that, internally, it's starting having, I should say, a good steps, because now it has been signed down among the political parties that are represented in the parliament and those that are not represented in the parliament. It's a commitment. It's a commitment that has been signed down that must come. We have to come out with a national dialogue in order to surpass this situation, and also to I would say to change some of to change the Mozambican constitution in order to reduce the political power of the presidents. So this is something that we're having, and it's being discussed internally, and with a few interference of the UN and also of the ACDC.
Oh, okay. Now, just before we let you go, speak to us. The assassination of Mondlane's lawyer and a Podemos party official has also intensified tensions here. What do these targeted killings, indicate about how the state views and responds to opposition networks, and also the safety of political opposition, that's the opposition figures in Mozambique?
Well, it's something that worries us so much because, as we saw last year, we have the mother of the political advisor and lawyer of the former presidential candidate Venancio Mondlane, and no legal proceedings have been opened, and nothing has been investigated so far. And recently, we have seen also a temptation to the mother of his supporter. And we haven't seen also any proceedings opened in order to investigate these crimes. So what we can see, and most people associate this, that it must have to do with the political regime that doesn't even open the space in order to see or other political parties to have their space in the political realm. And Podemos political party has now been a party that is now separated from Venancio Mondlane. Venancio Mondlane no longer belongs to Podemos party. Podemos party is now represented in the parliament alone, and with his own president, who is Albino Forquilla. So they've split. Venancio has split himself from this party, and now he's running alone. So this is something that we are now seeing, and now there is a kind of an exclusion of Venancio Mondlane from this dialogue that is going to start. We have seen recently the shake of hands between Daniel Chapo and Venancio Mondlane in order to reduce the violence, the demonstrations. But with this temptation of murder of his supporter, Amaral, it's something that now Venancio is pretending. He said he has promised that he's going to start a huge demonstrations all over the country if there is another situation like it has we have seen recently.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Bonga Abdala, political scientist and lawyer, and also for your time for speaking to us on this. We really, really appreciate you. Sadly, the time is quite short, and we wish we could actually have you for longer.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
It's a pleasure.